basically of what you need. So you need an assortment of extensions. These two here did it for me. I bought this one. This one probably would have worked. Had a smaller ratchet. This one was not so good. It was good at getting all the small stuff, but it was tough getting the bolts off the starter. This one here, this one worked really well. It was big. It was a 1/2 inch, I believe it is. But you'll definitely need a 13 millimeter and a 10 millimeter. 10 millimeters to take off the stuff on the side of the starter, and the 13s to take off the bolts on the bottom, and a screwdriver just to do some stuff after you take the bolts off. But I also wanted to stress the fact that I did all of this sitting right here. Like, I didn't use these ramps. I didn't take the tires off. I did it all right there. So you're able to do this without taking it to a shop or doing anything elaborate. You can do it from just laying on your back, and that's what I did. So it's like real scenario. If you had to do it in a parking lot or something like that, you could do it. Like, it's not a big deal. You shouldn't have to tow it. But yeah, that's what I wanted to stress, was that you could do it just like this. So what we've got going on here is I'm trying to replace my starter, this here, and I've just started removing this bolt. I went ahead and removed this guard around it. It's sitting right here, and I'm doing this at night because it's stressing me out. So pretty much before you want to start working on your starter, you have to remove like the power to it, and there's a plug and all that. You want to remove your neutral first. So I got it off. I needed 2 hands to do it. So basically you want to take that off, make sure it's away so it doesn't like pop back up and hit it, and make sure you just put it out of the way. But basically that's it. So everything went off in the truck, and now I can go down there and take all the power and everything off of the starter. All right, I already broke this loose, so I'm just gonna remove this right here. Just had to pull that back in. So let's get in here and get this off. So you should be able to just take this off here. Yep. Set that up there. Then the new starter comes with a bolt. Now this was a heat shield that was supposed to be up here, but when I got in here, this little thing here was already falling down, so I don't have to move that. I've got to figure out how to get this wiring harness off of here. This is apparently the hardest part of this. Now I don't know, it may just click off. No, it's not. So there's a little, oh, it didn't, it just clicked off. It's a lot easier than they said it was going to be. Might be because of this red tab right here, I don't know. So yeah, that was super easy compared to what everyone was saying on the internet. But yeah, so basically it's unplugged now. So what we've got here is we've got to remove these two bolts right here. They're pretty long. This is probably gonna be pretty difficult considering I don't have my truck jacked up. So this is actually the next day. I got these bolts out right here. It took a little bigger of a tool. These were really hard to get out. It's probably gonna be too hard to get them out on camera here as well. So, but these things were a pain. I had to get a bigger ratchet. I was almost to the point I think I was going to go buy an impact wrench. My ratchet wasn't big enough to do it, but I got a bigger one from my dad, so I was able to break them free. There's a bar. I don't know what this is. I'm not a mechanic. There's a bar right here, like a tensioner bar or something. This thing was like just perfect enough to make this annoying. So there we go. And these are long screws or bolts as well. So there's mesh on this, or like a braided part there. All right, this other one, I'm gonna have to get this up in here. Let's see. Hand. So I have to go over. It's a little easier with the camera. You can get another view. So let's get this out of here. All right, there it is. now this thing is gonna come out of here. I don't know if I'll be able to get this on the camera. Let's see, make this ratchet. Oh, this thing is in there tight. What is this? Why won't this move? It's attached right here. What is this? Guess I'm gonna have to pull that out. Is it just pull out? There it goes. All right, set that out of the way. It's gonna be a pain in the ass to get the other one in there. So here it is. There we go. Got it off. So I'm gonna try this. I don't think this is gonna go well. All these tools in the way. So needless, I've never done this before, like ever. So this thing's gonna be a damn booger to get in here. So let's see what we can do. And then again, it may not, I don't know. All right, well, that ain't working. All right, so I finally got this thing off. And I was like, I ain't gonna show y'all how to put it on. Nobody says anything. Well, it was terrible. It took forever to get it on. I broke the connector that this thing hooks to the computer. Broke right off. Like, whatever. So there's the used one on the, off of this here. I took it off of this. So this is just a heads up. I watched a lot of YouTube videos on this mess and nobody shows you putting it on. And while I was trying to do this, I'm like, I figured out, yeah, you know, this sucks. Like putting this thing back on, it does not fit right. So after like an hour of fooling with it, taking it off, I was kind of like at my wit's end. Like I was like, I should have jacked it up. I'm gonna take this tire off, all this jazz. Well, this thing right here is the thing that was binding up, that was making it impossible to get on. Well, come to find out, there's a freaking bolt right there. You can remove it. Once I removed that thing, the thing slipped on. Like it didn't even bump up against anything. It slipped right on, like no problem. It's the brand new ones right there, like right here. And it went right on, like no problem. Now, I mean, I got to get in there. Let me see if I can zoom this in and put this connector on. Yeah, see that stub sticking out of it? Put that connector on and connect the new wiring harness with the old one. And it's on. But man, nobody in any of the YouTube videos said that. Like, and it was an absolute pain. But I'm about to put it all back together and crank it up and see if it starts. All right, so here we go. We're gonna get positioned in here real quick. Screw this thing up. So y'all are just gonna have to see it when it's done. All right, so got it mounted up there. It's pretty tight. It is tight, so hopefully it all set and we'll get up and look at it from the top, hook up everything. All right, so we're back up at top and now I have to get this little piece back on. It's probably gonna be a booger. It goes right here. Let me zoom in. It's unlikely I'll be able to show this, but it goes right on this point right here. So I'm gonna install it, and then the next piece that goes on is this piece here. It's where your power plugs up. It goes on that gold stub. So I'm gonna install that. When I get done with this, I'll show you what it looks like. All right, after, I don't know, 3 or 4 hours off and on work, last night I worked on it just like to get the feel of it. Tonight, got bigger tools, so you need like just a regular standard, I think this is a 3/8 wrench, ratchet, but you gotta have a big ratchet to get the bolts off the bottom. You need 2 extensions for sure. So like hands down, I had a ton of problems with this. This thing broke off, like I was saying. So I said I was going to show y'all once I get it all back on. I got it all back on. Probably going to wait to put this shield back on for the time being, but it's on there. So this here is on. It's zooming in. Let me see if I can get it to zoom in. Okay, so this here is on, and then the connector. The connector's weird, but I had put it all back together and was going to try and crank it. It didn't crank, and the connector was on wrong. I need to move that heat shield back up. But this here, I've got to get a smaller ratchet. I got it as tight as I could on the inside. So this bolt here, no problem, went on. But when I attached, I put that piece back on, I couldn't get anything in there tight enough. So I could get the socket in there, could get it tight as I could. I might have to get a really, really small ratchet, which my dad's got one. It's cranking up like so much better. So what I had was the thing was clicking. Like I'd go to turn it on, click, and then it would crank up. And it was always sluggish cranking, like the battery was going out. So it would do that, and then it'd be months before it do it again. Well, it did it like 5 times in a day a few days ago, and it did it a lot yesterday. I already had this starter. I bought it because a buddy was like, hey, this thing's easy. So this is pretty aggravating to install. The thing's 300 bucks. If someone would install it for $100, I probably would have handed them $100. It's really tough. I wanted to try it. You can ask my wife. I'm really stubborn. I want to try something, and I can make a video about it. So that's the good thing. But it's in. Let me see if I can crank it real quick and see how it goes. I just cranked it like 3 times and it fired right up, which it's it's been forever since it fired up like this. Yeah, so that's way smoother than it was. And it's cranked 3 times in a row. I would crank it and it would just stop. It would stop, click, click, click. And it wasn't like a continuous click. I had to do the key every time for it to come on. So yeah, but I got it on. It's really aggravating. It's a lot of work. So, but like I said, you need a 8mm socket and a 13mm socket to do this whole job pretty much. An impact wrench would have been a whole lot better, but yeah, so that's it. Basically, I got it on. It's good to go. Maybe this will make my truck run a little better, but I hope y'all enjoyed it. If you watch this far, definitely subscribe. I find this video to be a lot more helpful than the other ones. They always skipped putting the starter on. It was absolutely terrible. So I think I know why they skipped it, but I got it on. So thanks for watching.